Sorry I'm late. Today on Thousandaire Radio. We gotta push forward. Gotta keep buying these dimes. Oh my. 3 desk jars.
Get the cheapest silver, that's pure silver, that you can get.
I was surprised to see this still here. Oh, how I want it. And though I really like it, I find it very difficult to pull the trigger on a copper order. Would you like to hear some reasons why 1921 Morgans are a bit less desirable than the others? Of course you would. Phil McCracken. I'll be pretty glad when I can stop saying that. Damn, Dunk has something for the 5,000th subscriber. Thousandaire Radio.
Wicked show.
Eric G. Stacks and Jake Elliott. 2-way tie for first last video. Congratulations, gentlemen. A man speeds by on a horse, and a woman in a field yells, "Where are you going?" And the man replies, "I don't know. Ask the horse." The channel growth is speeding up. I'm not even sure what I'm doing here, but I'll keep showing up if you do, friendo. Salud. Cheers to you. I'm at the coin shop. Surprise, surprise. It's time for old silver dollar, week 93. Where does the time go? Oh, hit that like button if you would. Thanks to you, we're growing fast. And soon, the Thousandaire's borders will expand into the commercial stackers territory. You know who I'm talking about. The stackers that cherry-pick news headlines, that FOMO noobs into speculating hard on gold and silver. And then they conveniently plug their bullion dealer puppet master. We don't play that game here, and we never will. If I was incentivized to sell you silver and gold, well, that would make me biased. And I personally believe that would compromise my integrity. Am I wrong about that? Am I being too hard on those guys? Let me know in the comments below. I'm looking through the $30 Morgans, and I'm thinking maybe I could find one that's pretty nice in here. And that would give me a couple extra filthy fiat promissory notes to pick up some more dimes. Right now, the melt for a Morgan is $26.25. So a $3.75 premium on a 100+ year old 0.77344 troy ounces of silver. Yeah, that doesn't sound confusing at all. Oh, this video was filmed in East Pennsylvania. And by filmed, I mean I used my iPhone 11. Just a guy with a phone and a dream. That's literally all I am. With a job anyone could get fresh out of high school, or even if you dropped out. Anyhow, we're nearing the end of March 2025. Where does the time go? If time's gonna fly, then my stack shall pile high. So there's a lot of 1921s in here. Would you like to hear some reasons why 1921 Morgans are a bit less desirable than the others? Of course you would. First and foremost, how about higher mintage? 1921 saw an enormous production of Morgan dollars with over 86 million minted across Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The sheer abundance makes them far less scarce than many earlier dates, reducing their numismatic appeal. Or maybe I should have started with this reason. This is kind of the main reason too. Availability in high grades. Since so many were produced and many were stored rather than circulated, 1921 Morgans are easy to find in uncirculated condition. Which means uncirculated 1921 Morgans, not special. And who wants to be associated with not special? Well, I guess sometimes I do. But my valuables, I want them to be special. I mean, that's what makes them valuable, isn't it? For $30 with a 26 melt, an AU21 wouldn't be the worst thing to pick up. My heart's not really in it today for the Morgan. I'm just going through the motions. I'm more so enthusiastic about fishing through the dimes. I think I may actually hit 1,000 non-slick mercs before I get 5,000 subs. I'm trying to have as many mercs as I do subs because I think it'll look really cool. Plus, the moving target is incentivizing me to earn more. And it's working. I've posted a lot of things on eBay. I'm getting sales. And the community's been helping out too. Some of you have sent me a dime. That's awesome. And Chemo here unsubscribed to help me get one closer. If you're watching, Chemo, once I run a dime surplus, you can come back. I don't know about you, friendo, but witnessing Chemo's selfless sacrifice has left me inspired. You get to that point where you just don't believe in anyone anymore, and the world becomes a colder place. Then a faceless name in the crowd sacrifices themselves for the greater good. You almost don't really think you have a team until you see someone take one for the team. I can't stay sentimental for long, though, because that weakness will take hold and spread throughout the ranks. We gotta push forward. Gotta keep buying these dimes. It's what Chemo would want. All right, get a hold of yourself. So it looks like I've run into yet another exciting obstacle. There were lots of barbers in the mix today. I couldn't just leave them there. I had to fish them out. Here's a beautiful reverse proof 1 ounce buffalo. It was being sold for $200 over spot. I know nothing about them, but it indeed looks special. Look at those camera skills. Just a guy with an iPhone 11. It's such an old phone now. Just a guy at a laundromat with a couple of detergent pods. Here is a half dime from 1833. He wants 200 bucks. Oh man, that's probably not cool. He may not let me handle nice things if I keep dropping them. I'm at another coin shop. Somebody wanted me to pick them up some silver, so I called around, and this guy had a good price. A lot better than I could ever get from an online dealer. I guess he's gonna let me hold another one. This is the first time I think I've seen an old nickel like this. Suddenly, I'm reminded I have a nice little stash of buffalo nickels. Do I want to sell them? Do I want to buy more? Maybe I should pick up another cool little jar for them?
Some kid just starting to stack, but they really don't know what they want.
Yeah.
Or they think they know what they want.
My tastes have changed.
So I told him, and his father was with him, I said, look, you're just getting started. What I would do, I want the most bang for my buck. I want to get the cheapest silver that's pure silver that you can get.
The guy's been in the business for many years now, so sounds like pretty good advice to me. Not that any of this is financial advice, but I do like to give you some things to think about. And you can give me some things to think about in the comments below, of course. I'd especially like to read about that half dime and that old nickel that we just saw. Is it saw or had seen? I'm always trying to work on my grammar. I used to want to learn to speak other languages, but everyone pretty much speaks English too. So what's the point? I thought to myself, why not become very good at English? Perhaps one day I could become incomprehensible to native speakers, and they'll just act like they know what I'm saying because they'll be too embarrassed to say they don't know what the words mean. Forced to get their revenge later after they look everything up and realize they had indeed been insulted. All right, not a bad generic haul. I asked the dealer at the coin shop if I may use the Sigma and test everything before I take it back to the person who bought it. If you're wondering, I'm doing this for free. I don't normally like painted coins or rounds. In fact, I can't stand them, but this one, something about it. Look at that sharp fella taking a selfie in front of the Capitol building. Now that I think about it at second glance, it looks like they're up to no good. You just can't trust anyone these days. I'm kidding. There's plenty of good people out there you can trust. The greater portion of us are not lunatics. You wouldn't know that if you leave a news station on your television all the time. I was surprised to see this still here. Oh, how I want it. I'll buy it for my friend and maybe buy it from them later. Here's what we want to see. 0.999, and the little block is in between the brackets. It's fun testing silver and gold.
Here, you want me to?
Yeah, sure. I'll just line it up.
Do I already feel confident everything here is pure silver? Yes. Does that mean I should be lazy and not test it? No. Especially since I'm picking this up for a friend. But even if it was just for me, I should still test it. What do I think is worse than getting a fake? Passing one off to someone else and ruining my reputation. I don't want to be thought of as sketchy or incompetent. That is not how you build a wealthy community. It's funny, I was just thinking about his advice, and I don't buy a whole lot of pure silver myself. I think if we have the price spike up dramatically, that's what you want to sell. And I think the refiners pay more for it than constitutional. That's something else to consider. If we have another bull market, a lot of constitutional may get melted again. That's what happens. Join the pen pals. You can now write me at The Thousandaire Collector, 1700 Sullivan Trail, Suite 7, Box 111, Easton, Pennsylvania, 18040. Don't forget to include your info so I can put you on my mailing list. All right, let's get into it. We have a package from Fish, and already I must say, the envelope is spectacular. I figure it's not a big deal to show the P.O. box on a return address, but if you should send something and I see a street address, well, I don't show that. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Should I not show any of it? Or if you write me, just specify. Based upon my intel, Mr. Fish has been swag swapping prior to this. So I figured showing his P.O. box may be beneficial. Oh my, 3 desk jars. I had no idea. But it does make sense, and upon reflection, I too have multiple desk jars. Well, one other than the barber jar, for random change, to be filtered later. And it's open face, no lid. Perhaps I do not have multiple desk jars. Before I read the letter, I must know their specific functions. We have a copper jar, a barber jar, and a jar of fractionals. Interesting. A jar of pure fractional silver would be quite the spectacle. I hope you don't mind if I read it on air. Dear Thousand Air Radio, you have an outstanding channel. No, I'm actually not ad-libbing this time. He said that. I really dig the lane you have carved out for yourself and how you continue in it and double down on it and triple down on it. It takes a lot to be different and unique in this community as a content creator. Producing different and unique content takes a vision and belief in that vision, as well as the ability to convey the message of the vision. Maybe the highest compliment regarding content creation I would give a person is that they are truly a unique and authentic channel. These two characteristics best describe your channel. Keep up the great work. Enclosed is some channel swag and a few gifts for you. I would encourage you not to go down the rabbit hole of channel swag creation. It is a rabbit hole best left for the masses and, generally speaking, reduces the overall content quality of channels as we have all merged into the same. Stay unique, Thousand Air Radio, aka the Fearless Capsulator, aka Cappy. I really appreciate the letter, Steve, aka Fish. Or, as I've gotten to know you in earlier comments, the artist formerly known as Mistakes Were Made. And I believe you said before that you were the inefficient stacker, which I don't believe I saw those videos in the past, but I have heard that name dropped. All right, so I'll address what you said in the letter right away. I'd like to say the lane carved out is me being myself, but it's probably not true. While I'd like to think that's the case, I do refer to the analytics quite often. There's something about bubble wrap. This is the little bubble, so it brings out a little more ferocity. Their small size and uniform stature not only instigates my instinct to perforate, but also directly challenges my dexterity, causing a bit more state of frenzy than the large bubbled bubble wrap. Okay, where am I? What was I talking about? The lane I've carved out. I'm trying to think of how I even see it. I just try to be someone that's adjacent. More so appear than anything else. We all invest a little differently, but likely operate on the same frequency. Setting a little on the side, maybe picking up something each week. That's something we got in common, and I just try to reinforce the habit with myself, and I cast it for others to maybe benefit too. It's like a support group for stackaholics. And while I may be here on the front making the video, my persona is steadily becoming a composite of your channel interactions. It's like a NASCAR. The driver is not responsible for the success solely. There's the pit crew, the owner, the sponsors, the stadiums that create the community, and the community itself. Yeah, so without you, I would not evolve in the same fashion, which is the carving. And don't get me wrong, I think it's great to stand out a little bit. I think it would be much better if there were many more of us making interesting videos with integrity, by the way, growing the stadium and the sport itself, not just the driver. Wow, there's a lot of awesome stuff here, Fish. Let's get a better look. Perhaps I will need a jar for pure fractional silver. It does seem to be very popular with the pen pals I've had thus far. A copper penny and a nickel, the only perfect money left in our currency system. If nickels were more abundant, I would say our currency is backed. But they're not. I can't always get a box. And when I do, I feel like Charles de Gaulle when I'm leaving the bank. They don't like to give them to me. Ooh, a barber dime, which I assume is from your desk jar. It looks like it says 1 lime. Perhaps that will make it distinguishable from the others in the jar. The bars are nice. 2018, 4.9's fine. Canadian. Oh man, I'm starting to really like little fractional silver bars. It wasn't even a thing in my mind, and now it's there. I get the urge to buy gold backs too. And I fight it or risk being spread too thin. Although some would just call that diversified. Interesting, the 1/4 ounce is $1 and the 20th 25 cents. My barber jar does not make that sound. I do, and dub it over it. Video editing is actually kind of easy. It just takes a little time to learn. A constant drip. That's how we operate here. With the occasional concentrated fire on an obvious opportunity. I made that noise too. It wasn't as good as the other one. All right, and here's the barber dime we received not long ago from Phil McCracken. I'll be pretty glad when I can stop saying that. Nevertheless, gratitude, friendo. Another drip in the jar. Huh, the cork actually made that sound. As far as the doubling and tripling down on the carved out path, I use the Pareto distribution, also known as the 80-20 rule. If you don't know about it, look it up. It'll change your life. That's why I put it in bold letters. Copper is the perfect gift. A perfect gift is when you give someone something they want that they would not normally buy themselves. And though I really like it, I find it very difficult to pull the trigger on a copper order. You're gonna see this fish a lot in my videos. A little copper adjacent to some gold and silver makes everything look nice. I got a package from Slam Dunk here, last one today. If the Pen Pal segment of the video is boring the heck out of you, let me know in the comments below. And if you're enjoying it, also let me know. Plus, leave a like if you would. I have to be to work roughly by 11 a.m. And I get up on most days at about 6 a.m. and work on videos. So please interact with it and give me some algo food, hit the like button, comment on other people's comments. If you got extra time, you could even hit like on every single comment under the video. That will give me a major boost. Also, if you hear me mention someone's name, check the comments down below, click on their name, and maybe they have some videos that you might want to watch. Just be a little wary if you're going to click on Phil McCracken. All right, so Slam Dunk has something for the 5,000th subscriber, an 1885 MS63 Morgan dollar. As nice as this is, I have no issue passing it along. I've been reading up on how I could identify the 5,000th subscriber when they arrive. It's easier said than done in a nutshell, although I haven't ruled it out as impossible. If you know how I should go about this, please put it in the comments below. I'm going to read all of those comments so I can figure it out. Plus, I'll be trying to figure it out myself. But as of this moment, I can't say that it is for the 5,000th subscriber just yet. This wealthy community of thousandaires is growing so fast, it won't be long till we have subscriber 5K. So there is not much time to figure this out. Slam Dunk. Ultimately, it's up to you. The alternative method of distribution, that is. I mean, once we hit 5K, for example, I could just put it somewhere random and tell you where it is, and whoever drives to it first can just go pick it up. You know, I may actually give things away using that method. I think thousandaires would probably end up meeting each other in these circumstances. I'm excited at the thought of giving things away, especially in a manner that brings people together. Let me be clear though, as of right now, there is no giveaway. I await another letter from Slam Dunk. The mail call section's becoming suspenseful. I assure you, it was totally unintentional. Mistakes were made. How can I not make a poker chip after receiving so many? And how can I make a poker chip? We'll see where this goes. I can't say anything for sure just yet. All right, it's time to update my Merc stash. I don't know about you, but I'm really enjoying going ham on some dimes. It's getting out of control in such a good way. If for some reason you don't already know, I aim to create a 1-to-1 ratio, Mercury dime to subscriber, to create a spectacular physical representation of the audience. Yeah, it's a lofty goal, but goals should be big and unsettling. Unsettling because I'm not who I need to be yet. If I was, I'd likely be making a different goal. So what do we got? As of now, this is the end of March 2025. The Thousandaire Radio is tuned in to 4,426 thousandaires. I think pretty much everyone's a thousandaire, although I think we do have a couple hundredaires in the crowd. And some millionaires too, so it averages out. Where's the Mercury dime counter at right now? I got 694 with a deficit of 3,732. I don't suspect I'll be eliminating this deficit anytime soon. I'm just trying to get control of its trend. I want it to be trending down. But there are a few variables. So a growing deficit is not necessarily a negative thing. It could be because many more people are subscribing. I think I'm a week behind. I have to go get silver $1.94 today. Don't threaten me with a good time. Do I need to take it easy, or can I spend a couple $100 on dimes today if I need to? I suppose if they have the Mercs at the LCS, I should take advantage of it, because they do not have an abundance of them every week. There were actually plenty of barbers in this haul, so it's going to pleasantly stunt the growth of the Mercs. There's definitely a slick tax on the barbers. When you stack 10 of these high, it's quite shorter than 10 Mercs high. I know Rosies are the meatiest, but I don't like Rosie. And to be fair, I've been staying away from a lot of presidents on my money. On my real money, that is. I like liberty, or the symbol of liberty. I think it's something to aspire to. And it should be thought of regularly, so that we can not only achieve it, but also maintain it. What is it exactly? You know what? I'm going to read you the definition. Liberty is the state of being free within a society from oppressive restrictions imposed by authority on one's way of life, behavior, or political views, or the power or scope to act as one pleases. Doesn't that sound nice? Possibly even very important, or maybe even non-negotiable. I suppose it will always be negotiable because some go too far. If one's liberties directly impose on another's, then maybe the line would need to be tweaked. But government should definitely not be imposing on our liberties. Because here in the great states, we are the government, not our administrators, not our clerks, our servants. You see what happens when you start thinking about liberty? Not just give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, but breathing free in general. How can those tired, poor, huddled masses breathe free here if we can't even breathe free here? Breathing free sounds nice. I had pollen all over my car yesterday. All right, so 19 more Mercs, or winged liberties, bringing the new Merc dime total to 713, slowing the rising deficit to 3,713. So, what do you think about liberty? And do you strive for it personally? Or do you allow others to impose on you? A word that comes to my mind that I really never use, how I view liberty personally, is staunch. In fact, I never use that word, so I'm gonna look it up just to make sure I'm using it right. It says staunch, loyal and committed in attitude. Yeah, that's the correct word. Here's the Merc I got from Shuffle Silver. Join your friendos. All right, 713 becomes 714. And if you're thinking big whoop, well, you might want to check yourself. Never underestimate a constant drip. And here's another dime from the notorious Mr. Philip McCracken. Thanks again, Phil. Go now. Join your friendos. Oh, it rolled away too far. It didn't change the counter yet. Here we go. 715. All right, let's get a gander at these barbers I bought instead of Mercs because they were so plentiful. Oh, something you may like to know. I purchased some magnifying glasses. Multiple ones. Now, the plan is to fish out keys, sell them, and pick up more commons. And I have indeed found some keys. And I'm noticing the ritual of searching through the old coins is quite meditative. Yeah, I get in the zone and it feels great. And it has been rewarding. Like I said, I did find some keys. I actually have someone already trying to buy them from me. But I need to ascertain the grade somewhat before I do that. And I should mention, honestly, there's a part of me that does not even want to sell them. But if I can sell a dime and get 10 or more for it, with the dime stacking goal I have already set in place, then perhaps that's what I should do. I'm just feeling like the searching and the finding of keys may be turning me into a coin collector. You know, like a numismatic one. Yeah. You know, when I was at the hobby store picking up the magnifying glasses, I did see some books you could buy to collect like nickels and dimes and quarters, and they didn't have a Mercury dime one. If they did, I would have bought it. Am I going to order one? Well, at this time, probably not. Maybe I will. I guess it could be educational. Oh, and sorry it took me so long to get this video out. I got so many irons in the fire. I've been testing out these longer format videos, but it is messing with my frequency. So I'll need to develop a schedule. Maybe a fairly short video every day and a longer video once a week. I don't know yet what I'm gonna do. I guess for now, we'll just have to ask the horse. So I got 67 barber dimes here. Oh, and a seated Liberty. Perhaps I should take that one out and sell it. Well, if you're still here, I hope you already hit that like button. And if you're not already subscribed, consider sticking around. Things are gonna get even more interesting. I can promise you that. How about we call it there so I can stop working on this video and start working on the next one. I appreciate you being here, friendo, and I will be back very soon. Possibly even tomorrow. I guess that's it. That is it. Thousandaire Radio, wicked job. I gotta get to work. A quick thumbnail. Yeah, that'll work.